to another edition of your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show.
Did she subscribe?
Right.
I know she's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
What up? She repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What up? Happy hump day.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on a highlight reel tape. And be glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions and millions of the platform sports talk show fans on once again your Wednesday night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or
Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with 97 million. There you go.
all you hear is this.
It's always somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say straight.
Have me syrup on here.
Come on now, don't hit me too up. You know I get emotional.
But people watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Miss Williams, saying, welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful. Because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the platform sports talk show or its sponsors.
What is happening, everybody? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am back, your boy Smooth, Mr. Game Changer, and welcome in once again to almost 6 years running as of next month of the platform sports talk show, where we give you nothing but the hits, nothing but the hits, nothing but the mother-loving hits. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hope y'all have been enjoying your Wednesday and been enjoying your week. And of course, I am not alone. I got my peoples with me. Up first, from the Boondocks. She hold things down for baseball. She hold things down for hockey. Now we got St. Louis City SC. Maybe she'll hold thing down for pickleball in the future. We'll find out. We'll see. But Joe Bo, what's going on with you?
What's up? Happy Wednesday. I don't know about that pickleball just yet.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna have a platform sports talk show outing, pickleball, bowling, maybe some top golf. I got some activities that we got to go ahead and make sure we, do what it do. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't done top golf yet.
What?
Well, I hear it's quite expensive, but I was thinking about possibly doing that for Brendan's 30th birthday in May. So I don't know, maybe that's something we'll try out for the first time.
Yeah, definitely do that. I think y'all will enjoy the experience and everything. Of course, it's not like it's gonna be a whole bunch of professional golfers out there. So just swing it, have a good time, enjoy it. Get a cup of water, throughout the whole.
Yeah, water.
Some milk, milk and water, it's a kid-friendly show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just enjoy, the vibes. But I'm pretty sure y'all have a good time. Up next, she's busy. She's in the kitchen. Y'all know how it is. Just got over what she say may have been the flu, a little bit of, but she's a soldier, and she's back for another round. She's the host of Ladies Night. Bunny, what's going on with you over there?
What up? Oh, here we go. Happy Hump Day, guys. Happy Hump Day. Is this no, what is this? Middle of the March? What is this considered? Mid-March? End of March? What y'all consider?
We got 2 more weeks left, so.
Okay. Well,
this week and next week, and that's it. Right. Well, we are in spring. There we go.
I'm entering spring with sickness, so I'm trying to get over this. I'm ready to go outside, y'all. I'm ready to get outside. So I'm going to speed this process up,
Hey, I don't blame you. Get well. Continue to get better, should I say. And speedy recovery. We'll have T-Bone on later on in the second half of the show. But we do have a lot to discuss. Ladies, I hope y'all ready for a jam-packed show because we have a lot of sports to talk about. But up first, I do want to go ahead and give my condolences to the great Willis Reed, national basketball player, Hall of Famer, passed away. I believe it was yesterday. And this man here, where you talk about someone who was all about guts and giving his all to his team. This man won 2 championship titles with the New York Knicks and included one of the most iconic moments in basketball history after suffering a torn thigh muscle. And mind you, this is basketball, y'all. He suffered a torn thigh muscle and he still came back on the court in a Game 7 winner take all against all teams, the Lakers. And he held it down, man. He did his thing. And he played the first half of the series decider. And like the crowd roared. I mean, you could probably go on YouTube, Google, whatever it is, to pull it up and look at this moment. You cannot say this man did not have guts to go out there with a torn thigh muscle and still play at a elite level during the NBA Finals. So to Mr. Willis Reed, God bless you and thank you for everything you've done for not just the basketball community, but just as a pure athlete who gave his all. So once again, to the late, great Willis Reed, rest in peace. Hall of Famer, a legend, and his story will always be remembered for showing guts. So Want to give our condolences to him. Bunny, you recall, seeing the old highlights of Willis Reed and his comeback game, and no one thought he may come back, and he did.
Yeah, I saw the highlights because clearly neither of us on this panel were alive when that took place.
No, Bunny. Are you sure you wasn't there at that game? No.
Hold on now. Don't do like T-Bone. Wait a minute. Watch your mouth. Oh, sorry. Before you watch your mouth, somebody wants to make her guest appearance. Now come this way, baby.
What year was that?
She begged me to get on here. Come on, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
What's happening? How you doing?
Good.
All right, showing them pearly whites.
She's proud of them.
Okay. Guess what I'm watching? Bluey.
You watching Louis? That's what's up.
I heard it.
But no, this happened in 1970. So yeah, Bunny, I don't think your parents even thought about trying to do anything about you yet.
My parents weren't even together then. They were just coming out of high school, probably. So yeah. But yeah, so shout out to him. We talking about giving it all in guts. Hold on, so she got Game 7. I mean, I get why he did it. He put it all on the lines like it's Game 7, do or die, right? What do you have to lose besides an L? So might as well try to go for a win, give up your body, but it paid off for him and it went down the history book. So shout out to them for doing that. Because some of these athletes now, even in the Game 7, I don't think some of them will do that. Just because they got to worry about their contracts and the money over just doing it for the game, So.
And Joe, the first person I think about baseball wise that you would say something kind of similar, like Kirk Russell, right, for the Dodgers when he came back in. Sorry, Kirk Gibson. I think Kirk Russell is the actor, but Kirk Gibson for the Dodgers when he had that incredible home run against the Oakland Athletics. I think didn't Jack Buck have that call too?
There's a Buck call, and I think there's a Vince Scully call.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's a good example. There's conspiracies around Kurt Schilling's bloody sock. Is it real or not? If it is, that's another one. I was asking what year because like nowadays, like we know Mahomes was hurting bad, in these playoffs, and they were just pumping him full of stuff. So I don't know. Uh-oh. I don't know what they could have pumped anyone with back in the day, so.
Kids taking over today.
Yeah, they are.
Look at her.
What's up?
Say hi.
He is taking over.
Here, you want to say hi?
That's Mia. You want to go to Mia's house?
Yeah.
Mia's house. Say hi.
You say hi?
Hi,
You say hi to the kids? No?
Mia.
It's the family.
I went over to your house. I had fun. You
I
tell her.
have fun at your house.
Me is so confused.
Right, like what's going on, guys?
Oh my gosh. We're gonna talk to your mom later and see when we go over there again, okay?
Okay. Today?
No, not today. We're doing this stuff today. What were you
No, it's all good. I'm trying to think about anybody else I could think of in regards to sports wise off the top of my head, but
You hear stories all the time, like the hockey ones are the ones that are hard for me to believe because there's
right.
like there's people saying they're playing with a broken foot or like a torn ACL and no. And in hockey, and I'm like, I don't know, that one's just a little hard to believe, but I mean, yeah, I can't think of any other big one right now.
Yeah, but once again, salute to Willis Reed, setting the bar very, very high in regards to pain threshold and coming back and playing still at a elite level. So shouts out to him. And of course, for everyone watching, go ahead right now, give us that like, give us that follow on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. I don't know if Bunny's ready or not. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready, Bunny, for that. You know what.
Are y'all ready?
Okay.
Click on that.
Also, you can email us at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com, Instagram at platformsportstalk. All shows will be archived on Roku, and of course, excuse me, 1 second here. And of course, on Hot 365 Radio, where we are always hot. Once again, each show is archived on Roku, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. And Bunny, anytime they go on YouTube, they subscribe and click on that
bell, baby.
because anytime we go live, Joe,
You will be notified.
there we go. And once again, we are on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot, 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 hot. Check us out, hot365radio.com or on Hot 365 on the app, whether you have iPhone or whether you have Android. Of course, we on twitch.tv/hot365 as well. So we busy out here. We doing big things, trying to just expand and do more and more and more. And let me add, I'm sorry, twitch.tv/hot365 radio. There we go. But once again, we doing big things. Every first Wednesday of the month, you have Ladies Night hosted by Bunny, including Joe Bo, including Coach Willis and Coach Stringer. Last Wednesday of the month, you have the Man Cave hosted by Stan, along with Sadal, T-Bone Funk, and the Blackest Man on radio and now on TV, Craig Black. So we have a whole lot going on right here on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Now, Bunny, you now have my attention. What story or stories has your attention?
Man, I had a couple you all, but you gotta blame it on the sickness brain because I forgot one of them. I really did. However, another thing that had my attention was it was over with basketball. Oh my gosh, y'all. See, it's why I should have had my notes in my hand. I'm sorry. Go to Joel and come back to me, please.
As she said, after these messages, we'll be right back.
Let me find my notes. Go ahead.
All right, Jobo, you up?
I don't know. It's always so hard with these because everything we're going to talk about is something that's on my mind. But a good one is just the names that are kind of that are noticeable in spring training for the Cardinals. You know, like Dylan Carlson's having a good spring, Nolan Gorman's having a good spring. You got Taylor Motter. Like, where did he come from? Apparently, he's been in the league before. I didn't even know that, but he's like 33 years old, and he's having a great spring. I can see him probably making the opening day roster. Jake Woodford, this guy, I don't know what more he can do to prove, that he belongs on this team. Ali was kind of, I don't know. Ali, he was kind of like saying like he has things to work on last year, but he was consistently one of our better starters whenever he got a chance. So he's probably going to be that sixth guy. You got Dakota that's sent down, which I think is the right thing to do. So it's, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of storylines coming out of spring training, and like, we're not even talking about Mason Wynn, who he's probably had one of the best spring trainings, but he's not, there's nowhere for him to play, and it's understandable. So he's going to play in AAA, and the Memphis Redbirds are going to have one of the best AAA teams, I feel like, because we just have a lot of depth right now.
Yeah, they definitely should, man. Of course, I check out as much of the games as I can just to see things from my own eyes and analyze some things and see where the team is going to be for opening day. And I'm pretty excited about this team. I do have a few questions that we'll get into in our upcoming baseball, talk and everything. But I definitely see what you mean, Joe, in regards to these storylines and everything. So definitely stay tuned for that. For myself, I had to go ahead and give a shout out because I couldn't be me if I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do it. But shouts out to my alma mater, Vashon High School, this past weekend or last week, should I say. The fellas, they held things down in regards to winning another championship. That's 3 in a row and like 18 championships over the last 5 years. It seems like, but they have been dominating, and we had Coach Ironzone a few months ago, and the team continues to just hold things down and represent St. Louis as the best basketball team in the Lou. But that is not all, folks, because for the first time in history, the Lady Wolverines of Vashon High School has also won the championship. As John Albert, who he was a guest on our show years back. I've known him since we were little kids, and he has won his first as the head coach of the Lady Wolverines. They won once again last Friday afternoon in Springfield, Missouri. So shouts out to to both the men and the women's team for holding things down for St. Louis. So shouts out. I know it's an incredible feeling for them. And they're gonna all take this moment and be hungrier for more for the next year. And then I also would be, remiss if I didn't bring up Cardinal Ritter High School, the boys team. Shouts out to Coach Ryan Johnson, and also a special shout out to my godson, Jordan Lumpkins. He's number 33, second row on the right. Number 33 right there. They just won their state championship in Jordan's first. I believe Connor Ritter won last year as well. But another powerhouse team in the Lou. So shouts out to them. I believe they were 5A champions, while Vashon was 4A. But once again, shouts out to Vashon High School, to Cardinal Ritter, to all the schools out there that has been doing big things and winning championships and making St. Louis even more prouder for everything that they're doing for the Lou. So that is what has my attention. And just this time of the year, man, definitely March Madness is here. We'll talk about that in a minute in regards to the tournament and everything. Bunny, your thoughts in regards to the Vashon ladies basketball team holding things down?
Oh, what I was going to say had my attention, though, it was a March Madness thing. Shout out to Coach Yo, Ole Miss women's basketball team as well. Coach Yo is another coach that got her first chance to go further in the March Madness. And on top of that, of course, she's an African-American. Technically, she's from the Bahamas. But because, still not that many head black women coaches on D1 levels, and let alone SEC, and for them to go this far in Sweet 16, and Coach Joe said she wasn't even the first pick for Ole Miss when she took the helm a few years ago. But here they are now doing the damn thing. I hope they can make it our way. I have South Carolina to win everything. Shout out to Coach Don Staley as well. But if not, still for what Ole Miss has achieved this far, I'm so happy for them. Shout out to Coach Joe for being a phenomenal coach and doing great things with those ladies down there. You want to segue to the Ritter and B-side? Or no?
There you go ahead.
Ritter, shout out to the fellas. It's basically the B-side. There's a lot of state championships on the public school side and private schools. Cardinal Ritter's been doing a lot of state championships. So they both have phenomenal programs, phenomenal coaches, phenomenal young men. Again, it's almost like expectations that Ritter should go far, not win state titles for basketball men. The women were good too. Shout out to their coach, Coach
Raven Ward.
Late night a few months ago. So hopefully she'll get there soon. I got faith in her. But yeah, for the men's side, another state championship. I mean, it's just like it's an automatic. It's not automatic, but it's like we expect it. High expectations because they do it good year in year out. And on public schools with B side again, it's you blink, they won another championship. You blink, they won another one, and they make it seem easy. I know winning championship is not easy, especially when you're dealing with young people. You gotta have a buy-in, mature their minds, make sure they're good in the academics, and still doing the maturation process. But for you to do a different groups of young men year after year to go to the playoffs, let alone win state titles. I mean, that's telling you something about the coaching as well. So shout out to those men and everybody in their program that's making it happen for them. And especially when they get these D1 college offers, they're sending these boys to college too. So not just winning state titles, but we're going to college. So congratulations to them as well. Thanks for representing St. Louis.
And of course, as she brought up, I think she brought up, but the ladies winning their very first.
Women from B-side for the first time winning the state title, and Coach John, I say call him Coach Allen, I'm sorry, but everybody call him John. That he took this group of girls as well, because 3 years ago, like COVID, you were looking like, man, they had a potential, they did, but for it to see it from then to now, how everything came to fruition, shout out to him. I mean, again, I said it's not easy when you have young people, let alone buying into your basketball program, but he knew he was doing building this powerhouse. And I think what the Shine Girls has now, a powerhouse. So they were going to give Incarnate Word a run for their money, maybe. And may give Notre Dame a run for their money. There's some other good women's programs in the St. Louis area for girls basketball. So watch out, because Vashawn is in that talk now. The girls want to stay. Oh, you're going to have people kind of comfort them. They're going to hopefully keep sustaining that and keep winning more titles.
There it is. So, up next, Office City, St. Louis City SC makes MLS history. Joe Bo, it was an amazing scene this past weekend and here in the Lou. Your thoughts in regards to St. Louis City SC?
I don't know what more we can say about it. You know, I got time to drive around in the car this week and actually listen to 101, and you got people around the league saying that, you know, they're getting lucky or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, 4 in a row, we may not be playing the best teams in the league, and it's still early on, but no one thought we were going to be 4-0, you know, to start our franchise history. So that's awesome. My guy Klaus, he keeps doing it. I love Klaus, and I thought it was funny. Jamie Rivers says they call him Clousdale because he's like a Clydesdale. So I don't know. It's exciting though. That place just it's freezing downtown this past weekend, and everyone bundled up and got to see history. So yeah, it's I can't wait for the next game.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Incredible atmosphere. And like he was saying, you know, to be 20-something degrees and snow flurries,
I
players
could have
out there
believed that.
wearing, yeah, players out there wearing shorts, and you know, some had gloves on, everything. But you couldn't tell that anyone was cold because the whole stadium, they were up the whole game again. Team is playing amazing. And who they beat this past weekend? Who they play again?
Shoot, I don't even remember. Hold on.
I forgot the team name. Oh, here we go. You know what? I'm about to pull it up real quick. But yeah, I mean, just an incredible atmosphere. Once again, I thought I had the photos ready, but I forgot to load them up. So I'm about to do it right now, so y'all can see some of the dope images from from that game. But yeah, once again, like you said, Klaus, Roman Burkic, the goaltender.
Mhm.
I mean, that dude is amazing. Then to find out they have a high schooler who goes to Pattonville High School right now. He's like a senior in high school that's playing for the professional team. That is pretty awesome to
Yeah.
be 17, 16, 17 years old, and he's starting for the team.
And we also have a 19-year-old kid that's from St. Louis. You know, he comes in here and there, plays on the team. So I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of storylines so far, and again, it's a long season. It's like football every week, one game, but it's throughout the entire year.
Look,
But
I don't think football this long though. They going to November.
I know that's
March.
what I'm saying. Like it's one game a week, but it's like literally the entire calendar year. So
like 3 other major sports have come and gone, and they still playing.
yeah. So buckle up.
But what I was gonna say is with the goalkeeper, because he's so good, it's equivalent to how Wayno in his prime, our good defense, our good pitcher that keeps it together for the Cardinals. And that's how our goalkeeper is. He can keep as many goals away, and they're building around him. It's paying off. Now, you said we've been playing subpar teams so far in this season. But still, even with subpar teams, you still got to show up and do your job. I mean, look on the hockey side, when our goaltender doesn't show up right, how does it work for the Blues this season? Not great, but.
Yeah, I don't understand why people, they're trying to turn a good thing into a bad thing, have us not be as happy that our first MLS team is, not steamrolling people, but they're playing good ball, and even how I've mentioned probably after the first week when we've gotten lucky with a couple goals. Well, apparently that's just because we're just pressuring too good, because it's not luck if it happens 4 weeks in a row. That just means they're doing their job. So it's fine. It's fine. So another game this weekend, I think it's a late game. And there's no USA baseball on, so I could watch this one, for the very beginning. Look at that crazy guy on the freaking board. He's shirtless, and it was
Right. 20 degrees outside. You out here acting like it's 95 degrees. But I mean, I just love seeing the stadium. Now do they play day games? At this season at home, or is it all mainly like night games?
I mean, I don't know if we have any, but I mean, me and Brendan, like I said before, we've been watching just other teams, and there's teams that have day games, so I'm sure we'll get one here soon.
But yeah, like I said, just the atmosphere at City Park is just amazing. There goes Klaus, and yeah, I saw his last goal, and I was like, yeah, he that dude. He is that dude. I mean, he ran through like 3 or 4 guys to get the ball, then he got it and kicked it in. And I'm like, okay, that's what's up. That's pretty dope right there. And hello to our favorite fan, Miss Dub. She is in the building.
What up, Miss Dub? How's it going?
And she says 4-0 isn't luck, it's skill. Exactly. Because just like Joe brought up earlier, it's the way that the team is playing that's making it difficult for other teams to, really lock into what St. Louis City SC is doing. And that's all due to preparation, getting a game plan together, and saying, yeah, even though we're a new team, doesn't mean that we still can't win. So it's definitely dope to, see this team doing what they're doing. So shouts out to St. Louis City SC.
What I was going to also say, once they play these same teams again this season, we'll see if they've adjusted to us or not. I mean, they don't have too much scout reports. They do know some of our players based off the other teams that were previously in the 10 league. But it's still a difference when you come and bring them all together. So we'll see if the scout report is out and they adjust, or we still showing that we're that deal. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's all good. Up next, WBC and spring training baseball talk. So, Jobo, this has been in regards to WBC. I thought that the one 3 years ago was like freaking amazing, but then to turn around and see what happened on yesterday and just throughout the whole tournament, it was pretty amazing. Just what were your thoughts in regards to the tournament, and of course, congratulations to Team Japan as well.
Yeah, congrats to Japan. They were undefeated the entire way through. They traveled from Japan all the way here to Miami, and they played good ball. But no, like in 2017, I don't remember watching the pool play. But I definitely remember watching every game whenever they were in Miami and California. And like you said, that stuff was crazy. The Adam Jones catch and, obviously taking down Puerto Rico in the championship round. But me and Brenda would set an alarm for 6 o'clock just to be like, hey, what's the score? If it's close enough, I'm going to get up and I'm going to watch it. And we try to watch as many games as possible. There's just so much energy and passion in these games, and like the Dominican and Puerto Rico and Venezuela when they were playing each other, it's just the fans were crazy in Miami. The perfect spot to host it, especially for those countries. And it was just fun, like my niece, she doesn't like baseball necessarily, but she said she enjoyed watching these games. So, hopefully it made some new fans of the sport.
Man, most definitely, like you said, if you wasn't a fan, I hope after these last 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks, that it has definitely made you a big fan, because baseball really showed up and showed out. And I know we had these talks before about just how certain teams celebrate and how the atmosphere is. And recall last week we had that conversation about the Battlehawks and how the experience was so authentic. Recall that game, I think it was Italy versus China, or one of them teams. But like one of the teams' countries, they had people standing on top of dugouts on both sides of the dugout, and they hitting drums. They having a whole party.
They saw them, they were like,
yeah, I mean, the whole mosh pit without having the actual mosh pit, but the whole place was just going crazy. And I'm like, this is how it needs to be. Like, I want MLB to be able to allow home teams to celebrate however they want to. You know what I'm saying? Be authentic, be you, bring that excitement. You know, going to a game shouldn't just be like everybody got to sit down and be quiet and hey. No, it needs to be excitement throughout the whole game. That's what's going to bring people to these games. It's like it's doing for the Battlehawks because of the experience. Make it authentic. Make it be like, oh yeah, you're going to a St. Louis game. You could tell you in the loop when you see people do this or you hear this throughout the whole game. I just love that atmosphere. But going back to the actual game itself, though, and what games, if I'm seeing Randy A show out from Team Mexico, you know what we're seeing with Team Japan and Team USA. Venezuela showed up. Seeing Yadi or Molina coaching for Puerto Rico.
Yep.
You know, as you know, being a manager and everything. So it just been really good to see what they've been doing in regards to the WBC and people like Mike Trout saying, "Hey, I'm already in 3 more years, in 26, whatever it is, 26. I'm already in." And to hear now that word is other players, other top players, including pitchers, are like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I need to be there next time. And it's good to see guys like Goldsmith and Arenado do their thing. And you know, Goldie is normally like a mild mannered kind of guy, but he showed some emotion, especially at the game against Venezuela when he hit that home run and Trey Turner hit that grand slam. It was some great moments, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that Goldie doing this? And yeah, you know, just seeing that emotion, that was a great thing to see. You know?
Oh my gosh, like when Trey hit that granny, I opened up the back door and I was USA yelling outside, and that was awesome. And like it was funny because like you saw Trey Turner coming to the dugout and his eyes were like he looked like he was on something when you know just the adrenaline. And yeah, it was Goldie versus Cuba. You know, Wayno had that rough inning and he bounced back like vintage Wayno does, but like Goldie, you know, picked him up, hit that 2-run homer, and it was weird because like he got to first base and he did a little fist pump and yelled, and that doesn't happen with Goldie, you know, like but I'm just happy Goldie and Otto, they got to come back and have a better go around with this, because in 2017 they both kind of sucked in it, but this time they were in there every single day. We had to hold our breath there for a second when Otto got hit in the hand, but he's good to go.
Oh man, that was good.
But Wayno and Miles, I thought they pitched great. You know, like you got 41-year-old Wayno out there when you got Max Scherzer throwing 7 shutty innings in spring training. Like, get out of here with that. That pissed me off. I'm sorry, but you're not pitching in Miami, but you're throwing 7 shutty at, you know, a night game in Port Lucie. Like, I don't care about that. So, and everyone on Twitter, you know, is like trolling Wayno. Well, at least he's here. So I'm just happy that none of the Cardinals were embarrassed. I'm happy that we got to see it. We got to see a lot of good games, you know, especially there at the end. Like, you know, we trampled on Cuba, but it's whatever. But that game last night, that was intense and fun to watch, you know, 3-2 ball game. Not much really happening. Yeah, and then obviously the at-bat of the generation right here. And that's the only time Mike Trout has swung through 3 pitches in an at-bat and struck out. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better moment to end the game. You know, of course, on the U.S. side, you wanted to see them win. But just in general, as a baseball fan, to see 2 of the best players in the game who are actually teammates for the Angels to have this moment, and for Shohei to come in and pitch that last inning as a closer, and to get Mike Trout the strikeout. It was an incredible moment that led to the emotion once again that I talked about before with Ohtani. And even though his name has been big already, the WBC has even made his name even that much greater, especially at a pressurized, high leverage moment or game. You know what I'm saying? For him to step up and do what he did, show all the skills that he had. Remember, he had that base hit where he hit the ball to second base and up the middle, and made it to first base using his speed. You know, that's what great players do. You show up and you shine in pressurized clutch moments, and he did that. He showed his skills, and of course, which leads to once again Team Japan winning the championship. What an awesome moment right there! As
Can
we
we
do
talk
have a
about
card.
something?
Oh, go ahead.
You're about to mention it. Lars Taylor Tattooey Newbar. Apparently, this guy is going to have Japanese media in St. Louis for at least opening day, but they might even just be here all year.
Right.
That is, look how giant that trophy is. But that's just crazy to me. You know, like he put on such a big show. I don't know if you got the picture or not. They had ice sculptures in there, and they legit have an ice sculpture of hands doing a pepper grinder in that clubhouse.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He had the entire country of Japan doing the dang pepper grinder that we had Yadi and Albert doing last year. Like that's a cool photo right there.
Yeah, man. And I'm glad for Lars Newborn for him to get that experience to play in China in front of those fans and show out. Now, when he came back to the States and played in Miami, he didn't do a lot of stuff offensively like he did when he was in Japan. But he still was a key factor because he had one of the RBIs in the game, and he played every day, leadoff hitter, played the center field. So he definitely represented. But Ohtani, he won the MVP, of course, no doubt, for what he did over
I think
the
it should have
series.
gone to Yoshida. I'm just gonna say that right
Yeah,
now. But
I agree.
Ohtani got it because he's Ohtani, which that's fine with me. But I think Yoshida got ripped right there.
Yeah, but it was just overall just a great tournament, and I look forward to the one in 3 years from now because I got a feeling there's gonna be even more Cardinals, maybe like Jordan Walker and maybe Mason Wynn by that time could be, household names where they be like, you know what, we got to get those two on the squad as well to, lead the way. So definitely shouts out to Team Japan for winning, but for Team USA for being there in the finals. And Bunny, your thoughts in regards to the WBC?
Well, real quickly with Newbar, I didn't know his mom was half Japanese, so I see why he's on Team Japan and he came through in the clutch. I just know how people treat you as a hero today, so you gotta wayside tomorrow. So when he come back with the Cardinals, I'm just saying, people gonna be like, yeah, okay, what have you done for me lately, though?
I don't know. Cardinals Nation's all about Newbar since they heard his name, so I think he'll be all right.
Well, he got to keep showing up, though. I mean, did y'all already go up the lineup from a month ago? Well, ESPN 101 when Michelle Smalls came in town, and she was talking about her idea of the lineup, right? And I was like, Then I heard him again talk about the idea of the lineup. Then one of the Post's best writers, his idea of the lineup. So, Newbar is cool for now. We know the Young is injured. So, basically, if he's probably going to be out of a spot. He's not going to probably come back to the Cardinals. If everybody does their job between Edmund, Walker, who's the other one I'm missing? Gorman, and throw Newbar. If everybody does their job while the Young is injured, then he's not going to be back on the Cardinal roster, at least actively playing. So Newbar is doing good. Everybody loves him, so he just got sustained. That's all. So we used to talk about this with one of Fred and I's favorite players, good old he's in the Yankees. What's his name?
Matt Carpenter. I know Bader.
Carpenter. See how we loved him one time? It was like, okay, so I'm like, yeah. So he was sustained and he fell off. So as long as Newbar doesn't do that, then yeah, he's good. But if he fall off or don't change something, if he has a little slump, yeah, Cardinal Nation's gonna get on that bag real fast. So I hope he can keep the same energy drive and bring on starting the season next week. Keep going. That's all I say.
Dang, Bunny, like the dude's gonna be on his first opening day lineup, and you're already trying to talk about Matt Carpenter's bad years. Compare him to that. This dude's a Japanese superstar, and you're over here saying he's.
This is what you do when you step into the limelight, like with Walker. Walker's about to get into some big bright lights.
And let me tell you, just like DC and just like Gorman, he's like 20. So I mean, Newbar's not 20, but I'm saying Walker. I'm telling you right now, the second one of you guys start crapping on Walker, I'm gonna drive to you and backhand you because he's 21 years old.
Ask people who just like to win, who have other issues going on, and so they put their frustrations on Cardinal baseball. Ask people that they care, and he's 20. I know it. Like I was talking about when we were talking with Daddy Mac. I said, are you going to compare this to when LeBron was coming to the league and he had a lot of pressure? So I know this.
Those are two different people.
But are they going to treat it like that? It's different. So 20
I just-
years old, 25-year-old, when people have problems and they can get a soundbite on ESPN 101 or tell people on social media, on Twitter, forget the Cardinals lineup, they just revamp the whole. Hey, I'm just saying, new bar. You know, Carl Nash is really passionate, and you know we don't like mediocrity after so long. So just be forewarned.
I'm just saying, he is a kid. Gotta give him a second.
Again, I'm not talking about Walker. He has big lights, big.
I'm talking about Newbar too. And Newbar's like 24.
I mean, Newbar's been here, so he knows how we are. But at the same time, Walker, again, I'm gonna give him some slack. He didn't ask to be ranked this high. He didn't ask out his pressure. He just wanted to do what he likes doing. The media put it on him to talk about him all the time and say, hey, give him all this hype. So that's not on him. But at the same time, you do gotta have some expectations. Because if you're not gonna do it, somebody else ready to take the spot. That's how it is. I mean, it's just not baseball. We do that hockey, definitely NBA. NBA has the least amount of spots for people. So you gotta show up, show out, gotta be prepared for the repercussions. It is what it is.
Joe said, I don't want to hear none of that if Walker or somebody else.
Man, we went from WBC, Newbar being compared to Matt Carpenter, Walker a couple weeks ago being compared to LeBron, and I'm just like, y'all, if we're gonna talk about baseball right now, I just need to talk about how I'm like, I take back a little bit just from spring. I got my spring training glasses on right now. The team's looking good, and I'm excited. That's that. I'm just trying to be like cool, calm, and collected going into the season, and like, see if Jordan Walker makes the roster, and let's go from there.
So in regards to Walker, right now, I am a little bit nervous over the last couple of games now, especially after he, kind of hurt his shoulder a little bit, he hasn't been the same right now. Now, of course, people have these expectations, and you have to have them expectations, but you got to be a realist. Are you seeing him kind of go through those dog days of, okay, it's almost over. Yeah, I know I'm this close from making open day roster, but now I'm putting too much pressure on myself by trying to kill every ball just to, keep on impressing. Do you feel like he's trying to get he mentally is kind of getting there at this point right now? Because that's kind of like what I see. He hasn't had a base hit in a couple of games. Struck out, I think, 3 times today. He's having a hard time against lefties. It's kind of like they're starting to slowly figure him out, and especially when it's like 8 days away from opening day. So that pressure has to be mounting. I feel like he'll still be on the team opening day, but you never know. The team may be like, we just wait on him to kind of like show a law, and then maybe we can put him back in Memphis so he can keep playing every day, whatever. But do you see, from what you've been seeing so far, Joe, do you see him kind of feeling a little pressure or trying to do too much and not just sticking to what he's been doing, or a team starting to figure him out a little bit?
I mean, he might be pressing just a little bit, but I mean, it's the end of spring training, and he's right there. Like he said, he's right there. Everyone is assuming he's going to be making the roster. So, I mean, I think it's totally normal. There's a lot of guys at the end of spring training that are like Francisco Alvarez for the Mets. He just got optioned, and he's the top prospect in all of baseball. So it's going to happen. I don't think his shoulder had anything to do with it, just because like his next game after that, he hit a ball at like 115 miles per hour down the line. So I think he's fine there. I would like for him to stop diving headfirst into bases in spring training. That's just me. Maybe don't even do it in the majors when you get there. But I don't know. It could just be we're right there at the finish line. He sees it. We got like 6 games left in spring training. So I think there's a safe bet he's gonna make the roster.
And just so you know, my wife and I, shouts out to you, Jay Yonsei, and Jobo and Brendan and baby Mia will be at opening day. So we may bump into each other. So stay tuned. Bunny, you gotta get some tickets to the game. Stop playing.
Yeah, the way my next week is set up, I don't have any room for it. We going out of town for Chris' birthday. Not this week, we got the next. So my funds will.
Gotcha.
Hopefully,
understand.
maybe we'll see J Walk come up and have a base hit or something if he's on the team. Maybe we witness that.
Right.
I'm excited though. I was telling Mia last night, put her down to bed. I'm like, we're gonna go see a baseball game next week and naming all the players. And we're gonna see Clydesdales, Fredbird. I'm excited. I'm getting giddy. I'm getting giddy. A week from tomorrow.
The wifey, she's excited. She look forward to the pep rally that we're gonna be seeing, partaking in, and everything. So it's gonna be a vibe. Of course, I'm gonna have the photos and reels and moments and everything captured. So we look forward to it. You know, it's a sound of tradition. Got to go to opening day. You know, to my job. Don't ever expect me to work for y'all opening day. It's not gonna happen.
Nope.
Because I haven't did in the last 13 years, so it ain't gonna stop now.
That's
you know what's funny?
Opening day, 13 years in a row.
Yeah, I have not worked doing opening day over the last like at least 10 years or so now. Because I've been either at the game or I watched the game on TV. I can't work.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you talking about being at the actual game. You said taking off from work.
Yeah, I was saying taking off for work because I either be at the game or be watching the game.
Watching it. Got it. Okay.
That or don't be productive at work, which I saw they said on the radio that like businesses lose like I can't remember something $1 billion every March Madness because no one.
That's what I'm about to say. On March Madness, the first 2 days of it, especially when I work from home or when I was working in another office where we had TVs all around. Man, you know we ain't doing any work done. Everybody looking at their brackets like the same feeling how I feel for opening day of Cardinal baseball is how I am for March Madness. This is my favorite time of year. All this nonstop basketball, spring is in the air, Easter / Resurrection Day around the corner. Like, this does not get any better. You know what I'm saying? This is the perfect time of year. NBA playoffs about to come on. Like, shout out to March and April. Tell me.
You brought up the resurrection coming.
Right. Now, Miss Dub, word is right now is that the temperature is going to be 60 degrees with no precipitation. That's the word right now. It is the Midwest, so it can be 85 next Thursday, or it can be 45.
I don't want that.
Let me tell you this.
I don't want that.
Nope.
Y'all, at least y'all going in March. I can say this person. I went to a Cardinals baseball game in April. Let's say about 2010, 2011. In April.
It snowed.
I had a coat, scarf, hat, gloves. We had some good seats too. And still was freezing. I don't think we were drinking alcohol there. I think we drank before afterwards. But the fact that we wearing coat, gloves, and scarves in April at like 30-degree weather at a baseball game, I was like, this is nuts.
I mean, shoot, like Detroit, you know, you'll see their home opener that's snowing sometimes. Right. So
Colorado.
Pittsburgh even sometimes. It's just
Chicago.
Baseball.
It's crazy.
That's why y'all can't talk about those soccer fans at the City FC when you talk about guys having no shirt on 20-degree weather. And people sitting there at some of these Cardinals games literally in 20, 30-degree weather.
Yep.
Just saying. Yep. For the love of the game, right?
Just bundle up and enjoy the festivities. But it should be pretty awesome. I do want to get more critiquing of certain players right now for the Cardinals as we get into the season. Bunny brought him up earlier, but Paul DeYoung, you know, this man here has been like right there on the list with Matt Carpenter over the last couple years. But for those who don't know, he is out right now with a lower back injury. And what sucks for him is that throughout the whole offseason, he's worked on his new approach, his new swing, and he only has played maybe 1 or 2 games in the field because of arm troubles or lower back. And he's going to be on the IL to start the season. But the question is, Joe, because to me, I don't see him bringing any value to the 23 Cardinals baseball team at all. Is it time for him to go ahead and say, hey, yeah, $9 million, but he is not going to bring any value, or just keep him in AAA until someone is possibly hurt?
I think what they're gonna do is just keep him in AAA. Obviously, he's gonna start the year on the IL. But I feel like we just have too many deserving guys on the roster now, for him to take a spot and just to honestly be a bench bat. So he's probably going to stay there until someone gets hurt, because it's going to happen. It happens every year. So he'll be there until he's healthy, someone gets hurt, or maybe possibly see if someone needs a bench bat. Maybe we've talked about it the last 2 years. Maybe it's a change of scenery that he needs. It just sucks because, like, in years past, it was they all just like, oh, Paulie's doing good. He's doing good. But this year, they're actually talking about how he made, like, actual adjustments instead of him just, like, physically and mentally being ready. And now we actually made adjustments, and certain people were looking forward to it. I didn't have my hopes up, but they were looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, last year we let go of TJ McFarland and what's the other reliever's name? I can't think. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is last year Mo in the front office finally showed a little bit, and they released players that were getting paid money. It may not have been $9 million, but it happened, and I can't remember the last time that's happened. So maybe if it gets to it, maybe he's released. I don't know. I see them maybe trading him before that happens, but it's just an unfortunate player, honestly. It just sucks. He's a good dude. His mom is so positive for him on Twitter all the time, and he just, a good year and a half, and he just hasn't been the same.
No, he hasn't. And like I said, he just, in my eyes, does not bring any value to this team anymore.
Yeah,
you have some. You have
can't
so many
take a roster
guys.
spot.
Right. You have so many up and coming guys who are showing now, even like Mason Wynn. Like, hey, if you put him in, he's gonna hold things down. He may not do it offensively, all the way right now, but you put him in the field, he's gonna be electric. He's gonna do his thing on the field. Mm-hmm. But that's Paul DeJong. Another story I want to talk about. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. Of course, he was part of a big move this offseason, as he has replaced Yadier Molina and as Wilson Contreras. I don't think people really realize how much of a factor this man is going to be for this season and for the next 5 seasons for the Cardinals. The reason why I say that is because, Joe, over the last 15 or so years, who's been the slowest runner on the Cardinals team?
We already know. Don't make me say it out loud. But I will say, you know what's crazy is Yadier Molina. I'm pretty positive. We looked it up not that long ago. He has more swipe bags than Jimmy Ballgame in his career. Right. So he wasn't the slowest Cardinal of all time.
No, see, I'll say he was the slowest, but he knew how to steal the bag better than, as you said, Jimmy Edmonds. But Jimmy Edmonds was faster than Yachty overall. Just in regards to knowing how to steal. But in regards to Contreras, the man has decent speed, and having decent speed is going to change the game, because how many times have we seen Yadier Molina hit a nice ball up the middle or down the line, but then he's the victim of an amazing play by that defender? That's going to change with Contreras. Plus, he's better offensively than Yachty. He's going to bring a whole nother dimension to this Cardinals team. Now, in regards to the attitude, Yachty, he's a dog. He's that fiery guy, and so is Contreras. He's going to bring that dog. He's going to make sure that no one messes with the Cardinals and his teammates and whatever else. I love it. And with him being under the Cardinals organization, they're going to make him a better catcher as well. They said one of his flaws was pitch framing. I haven't heard a lot of complaints so far. I know it's still spring training, but I haven't heard a lot of complaints about his pitch framing or catching or whatever. This guy is going to be a pivotal part to this team. He's gonna bring a different dimension for this team for the next 5 years. What are your thoughts, Joe, in regards to Contreras?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like we've needed a bat for so long, and Yachty the last couple years, he hasn't been the offensive guy that he was in the past. And Contreras, he's gonna hit 20 homers. He's gonna get on base for you. He's gonna be batting behind Goldie and Nato, and he's gonna be behind the plate, and he's gonna be throwing missiles down to second base. Or picking people off at first base. He's fun, attitude wise. He reminds me of Yachty. He's got that fire. So that was like the one main thing I was excited about. But yeah, we needed a catcher. This is what we needed, and he brings everything to the table that the Cardinals desperately needed last year. A better catcher, speed, power. So, I mean, I think he's going to be a great fit. And Ali's already talked about today how he is going to be our number 5 hitter behind Nato. So we know for a fact 3, 4, 5 goes Goldie, Nato, Contreras, and I think that's the best way you can go with it.
Bunny, your thoughts?
I think Contreras is similar to how when Yachty was first coming up in the big leagues. I think they have a lot of similarities. And actually, Contreras' bat may be a little better than Yachty. What's his y'all know what his career batting average is compared to Yachty? All right, but they're talking about putting him in the lineup. It'll be even feasible to put him even in the 6th spot. And we knew Yachty was kind of there and kind of lower, but definitely the defensive side of it. I don't know if his arm is, it's probably good like Yachty. Can he throw out everybody like how Yachty did? I'm not sure, but I don't think we're gonna drop off. The point is, Contreras is definitely sustainable what Yachty brought to us at least the last 5+ years. I mean, over his career, that's some hard shoes to fill, but he has a chance to do it. But overall, I think we're definitely not getting a drop off. We're definitely going to sustain what we had with Yachty, if not even more. He was healthy.
So to answer your question, Yadier Molina was a career 277 batting average, and Contreras right now is a career 256. So batting average wise, Yachty has the advantage, but production wise, in regards to home runs and slugging, Contreras has that.
Okay. Cool. But overall, I'm still thinking we're not definitely going to have a drop-off. It's going to be sustainable what we had the last few years, I think. And he has only room to get better to where he can have a career like Martini did here in St. Louis. So I'm definitely not worried that. And as long as he knows how to, work with the pitches.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
She don't agree with you.
Okay. We're sleepy. I know. All right. Sorry, guys.
I mean, the catcher's position pretty much gave us nothing last year, so regardless, you're going to see it's going to be an upside this year. However you want to look at it, it's going to be better this year. So yeah, I mean, it's a new era. It's sad Yachty's gone, but you got top 5 best catcher in the game right now. He's not the best, but he's up there.
So last thing in regards to the Cardinals, these two guys here, I feel like have the most pressure to succeed, not just in the regular season.
Can I guess
it? But in the postseason. Go ahead.
Is it Flaherty and O'Neal?
No.
What?
The way he said no.
Are they position players?
Yes.
And they had the most pressure for the playoffs?
No, they had the most pressure to succeed, not just in the regular season, but in the postseason.
What is it? Our 2 big guys, Nato and Goldie?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are
these
you smoking?
2 guys?
Why would you?
Oh, no. No. These 2 guys, yes, they are incredible players. No one here in St. Louis wants to replace them at all. They are incredible. Goldie won an MVP. We know that. Or we want to do it again. Maybe Nato might do it. But the reason why I say these 2 guys have the most pressure is because, first off, they're 2 of our highest paying guys on the team. Have they had success during the regular season, put up great numbers? Yes. But The issue has been, now for Gold, it's been a little bit longer, but we had Nato for 2 playoff runs now. Well, about 3 games total for him or 4? No, 3 games
3.
total. But we still have not seen both of those guys locked in doing the playoffs. And if these 2 guys are considered your best players, then it's fair, just like we criticize LeBron or criticize whoever else. If these are your best players, then these 2 guys must show up when it matters even more, and that's in the postseason, because that's why the Cardinals pay for them. That's why Arenado left Colorado to go to a winning organization, because he wants to win a ring. He has to be that reason that they win a ring. He has to be, like what Charles Barkley said, the bus driver, not the bus rider. But he and Arenado have to both be sitting. I don't want, not trying to be funny, but they gotta be sitting right there together, holding that steering wheel and saying, "You got to carry this team in the postseason," because they have not done it at this time. So that's why I feel, because of that reason, we know they're gonna have a great season during the regular season, and more than likely lead the team into the playoffs. But my thing is now is what have you done for me lately? Show me state. We need to see these 2 guys come through and be productive in the playoffs. So that's why, in my eyes, these 2 guys right here, Arenado and Goldie, have the most pressure to succeed, not just in the regular season, but in the postseason.
WBC might have helped with that.
So you trying to say how Pujols was in the early part when we were in the playoffs, when we got the first World Series ring, how Pujols definitely came through in the clutch all the time playoffs. That's what you want to see out of those 2.
Those supposed to be your best players, correct?
Right. I mean, because who else did it with Pujols? I mean, Edmonds was on one of the World Series. He's on both of them, right? Who else was winning? When Pujols was winning, when we had 06 and 11. Besides Pujols, who was the other big bat? I was trying to think.
In
of
06, it was Roland. Yeah,
And
Roland
Edmonds.
and Edmonds.
Okay.
11, Freeze was like Trout and Ohtani combined somehow. Like he was hitting everything in 11. Berkman.
Then you had guys who played a big role. They weren't like the guy, but they played big roles, like Renteria back in the day. Chris Duncan, he stepped up, back in that day. You had those other guys, Alan Craig, who came through, Matt
John
Holiday,
Jay and Danny D.
right. So right. So you had other guys, but you still had that main guy, like the Pujols, who came through in the clutch. That's what we need to see from Arenado and Goldie in the postseason. We know they're going to be incredible during the regular season. That's going to be a given. We know that. But it's the same thing like in football. And I know Sadal can bring this up or can back me up on this. But people dog Peyton Manning until he won a championship. They said, oh, he can do all this stuff in the regular season. He can do all this great, passing records and touchdowns and da-da-da-da-da-da. But when it came down to when it matters the most in regards to what are you going to do in the postseason, you are nowhere to be found. You cannot win that game. That's what we need to see in regards to Arenado and Goldie. Those 2 guys must be the reason the Cardinals go deep in the playoffs and possibly win and go all the way. They have to step up. They are your best players. They are getting paid the most. You have to play like it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because if they don't do that, the team is not going to go all the way.
Well, I just want to see us play good 162 before we even think about that. And I think the 2 most people for that is Flaherty and O'Neal. But
I mean, if the Central Division wasn't still weak this year, then
yeah, but you're playing the Pirates less and the Reds less.
Mm-hmm. And my only thing about that, Joe, about Flaherty and O'Neal, is that the Cardinals won last year without them. Almost won 100 games without them. That's what I'm saying,
because our division was weak. If we had a very, if we were the NL West, then yeah, we'd be in a whole different conversation right now.
I'm just saying, it's a harder schedule this year. You're going to see everyone this year. We start the season against the Blue Jays and the Braves. I could 100% see it start like I would not be surprised if we started the year 0-6 because of that.
But
because we never beat good teams.
I always tell y'all the real part of what you're gonna see is right before or right after the All-Star break. Once July hits, that's what you got. And you can go all the way or they're gonna suck. And usually they go all the way where they finish out, we can make the playoffs. So the beginning in April, May, I expect barely 500. That's just how they operate, unfortunately, but it works though, because excluding a couple years, we made it to the playoffs all these years because our division is not good. It's not strong, let me say that. Now I know you said we're gonna play more teams, It's still, you gotta still try to win your division because you want to get a better playoff ranking too. But I'm just
wild card round.
Right.
Yeah, because the wild card round, and in our defense, even though we lost last year, the Phillies did make it all the way to the World Series. So I don't feel bad. They beat us, but then they beat other teams too, including the Braves, and the Braves supposed to win it all. So I don't feel that bad.
Now, one thing that Tom Ackerman did say, as you brought about in regards to playing less about division, but our division has to play more teams too.
Well, yeah.
So, you know
I
what I'm
will
saying?
say also the Cubs, I don't think they're an amazing team, but they got better this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
The Pirates got better this
Agreed.
offseason.
Definitely agree.
But you know,
Only team that hasn't done anything was the Reds.
2 years ago, we heard, they got better. The Reds got better. And then you look up, like we have the same two in division contention, the Brewers and the Cardinals, and the Brewers usually fall off by the time August hits. Like, it's crazy. We've been hearing this the same 3 years. Am I lying? Tell me if I'm wrong. You hear the Reds supposed to be getting better. We heard definitely the Cubs supposed to be getting better. And here we are talking about.
So 2 years ago, the Reds were better because they were in the playoffs. But then last year, the guys who brought them to the playoffs, they let them go or traded them. So the Reds were improving, but now they lost their pieces. Now the Pirates, I know if Annie's watching, she'll probably be excited to hear this. But they are slowly improving. They are getting the talent. O'Neal Cruz, this dude is going to be the next big thing in baseball.
But you know what? The Pirates better than they had McCutchen though. McCutchen was that deal, and he did the damn thing. And I'm like, wow, I was rooting for McCutchen, and then the Pirates helps because I like to see the division competitive. I hate when we just run out teams. So they had it back then, and they let it fall to the wayside. My point is, we keep hearing they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good. Sustain it. Don't do a one-off. The Cubs did it. They did it earlier than everybody expected. 2016 and won a World Series. I'm like, they're gonna sustain it. But then 3 years? They back to their same old way. Now here y'all saying they're gonna be better again, but I'm just saying, try to sustain it.
And that's why you have certain teams who hate the owner for the Mets, Rob Cohen. That's his name. Joe. Steve Cohen. Because as soon as O'Neal Cruz gets big time, guess who's gonna try to come after him when he's available? Team like the Yankees.
Like the same thing in the 90s with the Yankees. People
right. No, I'm pretty much making your point in regards to why certain teams can't get better. It's because other teams take them away because they got more money. That's why certain
salary cap baseball, MLB, make a salary cap.
That ain't gonna happen.
They said
Manfred Ohtani may be offered a $500 to $600 million contract after this World Baseball Classic put him on the map for real. Yeah. $500 to $600 million. I said, y'all some crazy food.
He's gonna get every bit of that.
Capping it makes it more competitive. That's the one thing. And I know we in a capitalist country, capitalist society, still making a cap so it helps be more competitive. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Manfred said there's not going to be a cap, but I think there should at least be a floor so that teams like the Reds and the Pirates, they need to spend a certain amount of money. And I'm not talking have a payroll like the Mets or the Dodgers, but do something. The Cardinals could still spend more if they really wanted to, but they don't want to. So yeah, I think a floor at least, that would be a starting point.
So we can't guarantee, or no, I'm probably gonna say it now. They probably won't have a salary cap, but something I can guarantee that I got two guys who want to say what's up to y'all right now, and that's T-Bone and Sadar. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
He trying to burn off some calories. He trying to get that two-piece ready. He trying to get two-piece ready.
Oh,
I'm
T-Bone.
gonna Be
It's
summertime
spring
ready.
break, so I figure you trying to make something look good out there, right?
Sadal looks disgusted.
Right.
His shirt says it all.
That's your voice, dog. That's him out there burning calories off, okay?
I didn't even say anything.
Just the look on your face, you're like,
His shirts, his face says what his shirt says.
Damn.
So, hold on. Here we go. Miss Dub, hi T-Bone, hi Sadal.
Hey,
Miss Dub.
Yep, we got the crew in here. So, ladies, I know y'all have to go ahead and go, but I'll go ahead and bring up this real quick. Caw. Didn't do too good. Didn't do too good. But Jobo, Bunny, y'all have a great rest of y'all evening. Thank y'all for y'all time, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks for ladies' night.
all right, have a good night, guys.
I remember I'll be out of town.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Put me on the spot. All right.
Jobo, you hold it down, honey.
I'll stress about it later. I don't want to talk about it. All right, bye.
My hands
All
are
right. Once again, this is your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am Smooth, and right now I got my bros with me on the bike. We have.
woo, a tired T-Bone. A tired T-Bone.
And we have the real estate DJ.
Sadal, the selector.
Should have had that power up on.
I know, man. I can't really power up tonight. I'm a little under the weather.
Oh no, so that's the same thing with Bunny. She's been under the weather the last couple of days. So
If
feel better, man.
if it wasn't for that, man, I wanted to get back into the gym this week. Get my workout on.
Let me tell you something. You the one that went to Raw, dog. All right? You know what I mean?
Oh Lord. Pause.
No. What?
Damn.
Is it me?
Oh my Lord.
You just set me up for the show. Come on.
And he was so proud to say it too.
Don't give me
Oh, you're coughing.
I can't laugh right now.
Of course
I can't laugh right now, man.
Change the subject.
All right, Battlehawks. The Battlehawks. What happened? This
Not good.
weekend, not good. Just like that last statement from Tito. Not good. Man. So of course I went to the Battlehawks game this past Saturday. And for what I can say, look, despite all of the stupid bonehead penalties, they almost had a chance to win. They were right there at the end. They only lost by 8 points. DC fans will tell you otherwise, that we got blown out of the doggone building, but that didn't happen. We were right in the game to the end, but they just couldn't overcome all of the penalties that were occurring. There was some bright spots for the Battlehawks, though. It was Shepard, at a return man, Darius Shepard,
man, that was a great play.
Who really just took off for like a 75-yard kick return. So the longest kick return of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So
longest kick return of this season so far.
Yeah. So but That wasn't enough, man. When you give up 200 plus yards on the ground, I mean, and there's no penalties that can that can stop that unless it's holding on the offense. I mean, they ripped us on the ground. That run pass option was really giving the defense trouble the whole game. You know, the former Battle Hawk Jordan Tahamu went off with the run pass option. You know, that's what killed us. We couldn't stop the run. We knew it was coming, especially when they were down at the goal line. If they were going for 2 or 1, they had to, or at least in short yardage at the goal line. You knew they were going to run up the middle. They just somehow they still couldn't stop it. So, but overall, I think the overall story was the penalties in that game. I mean, you know, illegal formation on kickoffs. You know,
Yeah, I saw
false
that.
starts at the wrong times, holding at the wrong times. After you make a big play or a touchdown, you get a holding penalty. I mean, that's what killed them. They couldn't recover. So that's
And I do have a question. Because even on the games that we have won, I believe we're 3-2. But those 3 games that we have won, it wasn't like the offense came out the gate like, boom, let's go. They've had to come behind a few times, and it happened again this past weekend. Something's going on with the offense where it's taking too long for them to click and get those great jumps, you know what I'm saying, to get that lead. What's going on do you see from the offense in regards to why they're not clicking more? Do you think it's a AJ McCarron issue? Because there's been a few passes, and of course the game ended with the interception. Not saying he's a bad quarterback, but do you feel like he's hindering the team, or is it play calling, or what?
I think it's a combination of the two. First of all, you have an unimaginative offense. I mean, you know, pass left, pass right, and then run. I mean, there's not a lot of plays down the field. When they did throw down the field, they made some big plays down the field. But then, when McCarron was throwing perfect passes, the receivers were dropping it outside of Shepard. Shepard's our best receiver. You know, he's got the best hands on the team. But when it comes down to everybody else, they dropping passes down the field, or the passes are off target. And I think that part of that is something with AJ and his receivers. They're just not on the same page, whether it be routes or what it is. I mean, they run a simple enough offense. I mean, it can't be, oh, you ran the wrong route. I mean, come on. I mean, they don't really. It's not really a surprise what they're going to do on offense. I mean, so that's part of it. It's not an intricate offense. You're not calling audibles on the field there. So AJ is just basically, you know, a little antsy, and when he gets antsy, he throws off target, and he throws interceptions. The perfect example was the play that ended the game, the interception that he threw at when we was driving down the field. I mean, why throw that pass? I mean, the guy was covered, and clearly covered. And I don't know, he wasn't thinking. Yeah, the play was probably supposed to go to that receiver, but you see the guy covered. Why throw the ball? Just throw the ball away. Yeah, just throw the ball away and live to see another down. So it's a combination of a lot of different things, man. We just don't have it on offense. AJ is, I think people give AJ the benefit of the doubt because he played at Alabama and won a couple of championships there. But the offense they ran in Alabama is more fine-tuned and more thought out than this Battlehawks offense. So, and that's college football.
So you calling him the not so phenomenal AJ McCarron? Is that what I get?
You said it.
Hey, look, I mean, I kind of saw that at the game too. Like, it seems like the receivers and AJ aren't necessarily on the same page because there was a few times where when I was at the game, not this past week, but the week before, where they throw a pass, he throw a perfect pass, and it wouldn't get caught, or somebody would be kind of off target or something like that. But I feel like this is something that's going to be growing pains for most of these offenses. I don't know how much any of you have watched any of the other games closely, but I mean, it seems like each team for right now has some type of struggles, except for DC. But I feel like it'll probably come together. It's their first season together as a team. I feel like they'll fine-tune things as they go along. You know me, the eternal optimist of sports, of the local sports teams.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I'm not sure. Let's say next season begins. I'm not sure we're going to have the same exact players next year.
Why say that?
You know what I'm saying?
We've never seen the second season of the XFL, so who knows?
Right, because of course you may have some guys who may get elevated to the NFL, but if I'm correct, I thought Coach Anthony Beck was saying that it may be like a whole nother draft of all different players next year as well. Right. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's kind of like what I've been hearing or kind of been, trying to understand if you may not have even had the same players next year.
I don't think that would be a good idea
at all.
I mean, not even just from the playing performance standpoint, but like if you try to build a fan base, the fan base has to, have people that they root for. Obviously, as the Cardinals, we just saw that with, Wainwright, Pujols, Molina, and, long-term players like that. You got to have some type of identity. And as much as it takes a while to establish those team colors that people just resonate with, I think that wouldn't just be good. I mean, just play-wise, fan base-wise, like that just wouldn't be a good thing as a whole.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I haven't heard anything about a new draft. Although you do have a college draft, just like any other league, because they want to lock up those players that may not make the NFL. Right out of with the 7 rounds, and then pick up those players that may not make those teams and be able to claim them right after. So I know the USFL just had their college draft. So I'm not sure if the XFL had a college draft or not. I haven't heard anything about that, but that would make more sense than just shuffling the deck all together. I mean, it doesn't make sense for a team's professional sports to do that.
Now, something that would benefit next year is if they actually had maybe a couple of exhibition games, kind of preseason games, because they don't do that right now in the XFL. I think that would benefit, each team offensively, well, schematically on offense and defense to have maybe one or two exhibition games or preseason games before the real game start. Because everyone else's real game this past year was the first game of the season. Kind of like in college.
At least do it like what they do in college. They have their spring games. And so at the hub, you can have those, I don't know, you say winter games, right before the season at the hub, and then before the season starts. So,
I don't hate the idea, but they on borrowed time because they'd be somewhere between college football, the NFL playoffs, and I guess if they tried to bump it a week or two, you'd run into the USFL trying to capture on that market. Which, by the way, I know we're in St. Louis, but do y'all feel like that USFL is catching on the same way as the XFL is?
I haven't been watching, honestly.
It hasn't started yet.
Right, but now it'll be their second year.
Oh, I see. I haven't.
They start in April.
In April, yeah. the second year, and I didn't watch one game last year. I take it back. I think I did watch one game, not the whole game, but I think when Johnny Manziel was playing for a team. I'm not sure how he did, but like I said, I didn't really watch a lot of games last year.
I saw one quarter of a game. I forgot who played, but it was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust, 3 and out on both sides for like the whole quarter. I'm like, this sucks. I'm turning it off.
I mean, that happens in the NFL all the time, to be fair. but I don't know. I just think that I feel like the USFL, you've seen those commercials where they basically kind of take a knock at the XFL, talking about whether that's a Hollywood ripoff. But, I mean, I don't think that the USFL is catching on the same way. Although they are the first one with a second season. So, there's that.
Right. Yep. We shall see. But once again, Battle Hawks are right now 3-2 as they face Vegas Vipers this weekend. That should be hopefully a win. Yeah, because I don't think they won a game. Or if they did, they won just one. So hopefully the Battle Hawks can go ahead and find some consistent offense, stop beating themselves up. Because we want to see the DC Defenders again in the playoffs leading up to the championship game. That would be amazing to have a playoff game here in St. Louis if possible. So
if we play DC, it's not gonna be here. It's gonna be in DC.
Oh, well, yeah, there we go. So
Well,
never mind.
let's just hope that they peaked early.
Not unless DC starts on a losing streak and then we get a better record than them.
Right.
You think the next year will be rewarded with the site of the championship game after they've seen how everything is going?
That's exactly what my thoughts were last Saturday. I was telling the people around me, I'm like, man, next year I see the championship being right here in St. Louis. And
it has to be
right there. Yep. Got the
and
right there.
And truthfully, if they didn't make a deal already in San Antonio, they could have changed it to make it in St. Louis this year if they could have.
Yep. Well, we just got slept on. That's all good.
They probably had that Ron Burgundy when they were sitting there looking at all the audience, at the attendance, and they looked at St. Louis, and they were like, boy, that really got out fast.
And for those on social media, like especially on Twitter, I mean, The Rock, all you see is him retweeting about what's going on in St. Louis and how St. Louis is bringing this passion and bringing the people, kind of like we're representing the XFL, like we are that city that's representing the whole brand as a whole in regards to why the XFL is so special. We're that example. We're that reason. You don't hear about other teams, compared to St. Louis. So you definitely want to make sure that St. Louis is in the forefront in all that you're doing to brand and to bring more people to the XFL.
I think we should make a social media blast to let them know, like, hey, there's a St. Louis sports talk show that he might be interested in coming on to talk about the success of the St. Louis audience in the XFL.
Right.
I'd give it a shot.
But Monty Jones, where you at, man?
Oh yeah, right. T-Bone's twin. All right, so more football news real quick. Lamar Jackson has apparently told teams that, hey, I don't have no plans on going back to Baltimore. I saw this coming. Say it again, T-Bone.
So he ain't having big fun in Baltimore.
Man, and I saw this coming.
It's collusion with the owners with him, man, and it
allegedly. Allegedly, let's not get ourselves in trouble.
Allegedly collusion. I mean, when you have a person who, one, is not represented by an agent, and so that would affect things for years to come if you get a big contract without an agent. Two, you already had one fully guaranteed contract. You don't want to set a precedent to have another fully guaranteed contract, and if it was a fully guaranteed contract given out, it would be to Lamar Jackson. So they don't want to set that precedent because now you gotta do for all. You do for one, you gotta do for all.
Now,
And the owners are trying to protect themselves and say, no, we're not going to do this. And Lamar, for his credit, he's pretty much doing it right. He's not really saying too much, not making no waves. He's just saying, hey, you know, I want what I want. That's it. You know, he's really not blasting everybody and talking out of turn like got Aaron Rodgers.
now wait,
You know, so
why does this fella not have an agent?
he never did have an agent. His mother was representing.
Why does he not currently or in the past have an agent?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Got to ask him.
That is a fool's fool. You can I can only talk about the NFL for so much, but listen, as a player, you got to get all the tools that you can to get the best deals that you can because the NFL is going to do it. The NFL isn't just sending out Roger Goodell to go talk to him and negotiate a contract. They send out their attorneys. You come with an attorney. Don't be a fool. Don't represent yourself. That's a fool's errand.
Well, maybe he feels more comfortable with his family representing them. You know, some people don't really have your best interests at heart. Maybe he feels more comfortable with somebody that he can trust.
But see, here's the problem where he runs into is because, like, you look at like basketball, like how many people are represented by Rich Paul out there. You don't think that his name carries a little bit of weight? You know what I mean? Like in basketball?
Now it does. But at first he wasn't really official agent like that. He started out with LeBron, representing LeBron.
Right. You
and people were like, why are you letting him this guy that's not an agent do this? And he happened to be good and started his own firm, and you know, the rest is history. Okay, so but at first it wasn't like that.
Okay, two things about that though. Let's be honest. He's representing LeBron James, right? Like that'd be like if someone were in the 90s, you know what? This nobody's out here representing Michael Jordan. Well, look at that. He's got a bunch of other clients now. And he's built himself, you know, into something. My point with Lamar Jackson is you got two things as a player. Collective bargaining with the players and with your representation. That representation carries weight because they probably most likely represent other people as well. And if he's out here representing himself, he leaves himself extremely vulnerable to the players doing stuff to them, because if he had an attorney, the attorney could probably you know, recognize things going on, advise him to do other things, and you know, maybe give him better opportunities. I just think that it's not a good idea to represent yourself or with nobody.
And I do want to add this as well. As much as I like Lamar Jackson, I personally feel behind the scenes that the Ravens, as talented as he is, the Ravens don't trust him enough to give him a long-term deal because he's been injury prone recently over the last couple of years. They don't want to risk giving him all that money. In the other end, Lamar Jackson, he sees that there is lack of commitment long term from the Ravens. So his mindset, his mentality is already like, you know what, I'm gone. Because if they really wanted me, I wouldn't have signed the last couple of years to be a franchise. I should have had my long-term deal. So I think this is the best thing for Lamar, to be away from the Ravens and start fresh somewhere else, because I just feel that they don't believe they can win a championship with him as a quarterback. As talented as he is, as game-breaking as he is, he won an MVP a couple years ago, but I still feel, and now I'm just talking about myself. I feel that Lamar Jackson is a little bit overrated. I'm saying that. I'm putting out there. I feel that he is a bit. I feel he is a bit overrated because when it comes down to what's up, what I brought up about Goldsmith and Arenado, as great as y'all are doing the regular season, what do you do in the postseason? And Lamar has not done a damn thing when it matters in the postseason. They get hyped up. Oh, this team should go to the Super Bowl. And what they do, they lose in the first round every time with him as a quarterback. He has not done a damn thing as a leader.
That's like Aaron
Rodgers. But Lamar, he has not done enough to make me be like, yeah, I can win with this guy, unlike Patrick Mahomes has done and other quarterbacks.
Can't argue with that.
Hey, you won't get no argument.
Next topic, real quick. Magic Johnson. It's possible that he, along with other billionaires, are coming together to own Craig Black's team, the Commanders. Also on Magic Johnson, if it goes down like that, taking over for the Commanders along with his other investors.
At this point, man, they can get Ronald McDonald on the team. It'd be better than the current owner right now.
Facts.
Why not, man? Why not?
I mean, Magic Johnson is part owner of the Dodgers, right? Still, or did he divest out of that?
No, he's still in it.
Dodgers. He's not in an NBA team ownership group, is he?
No, but he is with ownership for the MLS soccer team.
Okay. Yeah. So is he still an advisor with the Lakers or no?
I don't think he is no more.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that same role he had years back. I think he took a step back from being in that advisory role. Now, of course, if LeBron says, hey, Magic, can you speak to this guy just to, talk about talk about LA, then he'll do that part, but in regards to that actual role where he's getting paid by the Lakers to do a certain role, I think he backed away from that.
Yeah, I think that was that famous time where he, stepped down and everybody was like, Magic. Yeah, he was like
the whole meme.
They were like, man, Magic Johnson stepped down. It must be a dumpster fire over there.
Yeah.
Before they got LeBron.
But yeah.
But I think it'll be good. He Magic Johnson's a great businessman, and that franchise just needs somebody that cares about that team, man. That really can just give them some dignity. It's a historic franchise, but it's been ran through the ground for the last 20 years by Snyder. So, give him some kind of respectability in that seat.
And not just the players. I mean, the whole organization. If you heard the stories about how he was treating their cheerleaders and stuff, having them go out to certain events for other reasons, stuff like that. It's just a bad representation in the whole. Allegedly. But it's just a bad representation in regards to the whole organization.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was described by somebody as the Vince McMahon of the NFL.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny. That certain person, his football, he claimed that the XFL wasn't a real league, but yet the XFL has the best football team in that city, better than his team.
Well, that's
right. That the team existed until we
someone
talked about it.
Well, that certain someone heads, didn't they? They said the XFL, that ain't no real football. Woo, they 4-0. Hey, how about them defend?
Right. Now he a fanboy.
Man, it's funny. It's funny how that bandwagon work, boy, don't it?
Man, definitely bandwagon.
I can't wait for
Last
2 weeks.
football,
I can't wait till next week. Can't wait till
right,
next week. We get to see that. We get to see that, brother.
Woo,
right.
we named names.
Next,
This is something.
last
This
topic.
is something that me and T-Bone can actually team up.
Agree on.
The mega powers combined.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Powers combined. Like Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin, tag team champions. Reluctantly.
True. The Rock. No, I'm sorry. John Cena and Randy Orton.
The Rock and Sock connection.
Last football topic. Cam Newton is trying for a comeback. He participated in. Great question. Stay tuned. But he did a pro tryout for Auburn's pro day yesterday, and he's claimed that there's not 32 other quarterbacks better than him. Which, I mean, I feel like he's full of it. But
I feel like what he should really say, if he really wanted to make an argument, he could say that there's not 64 quarterbacks better than him. 32 is a stretch. He could be a backup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he threw the ball down the field a long ways. Okay, great. Wow. Okay. I mean, there's 32 other quarterbacks that can do that. I think he's caught up in this, like, father time whirlwind there, where at one time you could do all these things. You were the MVP. You went to a Super Bowl, and the Father Time come knocking at your door and say, "Nah, you done, son." And he just don't want to accept that.
Right.
Hey, but you know what? When we were talking about Lamar Jackson, I thought about Cam Newton, and I thought about the fact that he's a case study of why some of the NFL owners may be like, or especially like the Ravens might be like, I don't know if we should pay you this much money because we paid Cam Newton, and then like he fell off a cliff like 2 years later. I don't even think it was 2. I think he got hurt like the next year, and then
you talking about after he went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's probably the case study that they're looking at. Like, hey, here's what we did with this guy. You sure you want to make that mistake again?
I'm looking forward to seeing what these other quarterbacks get after this year. Like, say Patrick Mahomes, like a Patrick Mahomes deal is up. I'm thinking of like somebody like him. Is he going to get a fully guaranteed contract or not? Him in particular.
Renew.
I think they had just extended him maybe a year or so ago, but
no, the TV rights.
Oh, when the TV? I don't know. I don't know when I don't know when the deal is up this time. But that'll be an interesting conversation to have with the Players Association and the league. It'll be interesting, and I know this will depending on what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson this year. It's really going to be magnified once that deal is up.
And mind you, that the NFL, YouTube TV and YouTube, they just brought out the rights for the NFL package for $2 billion per season.
Yeah.
And trust me, the Players Association is watching.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's the thing. I understand why they made that exclusive back in the day with DirecTV, because DirecTV was paying to make it exclusive. If you're the NFL, why would you want the Sunday ticket to be exclusive on one platform? Why wouldn't you want to spread that out
to other platforms?
Yeah, like there's no reason why if you're like you wouldn't want to try to get that on Amazon Prime, Hulu, whatever. You know what I mean? Like any of those streaming platforms, you should want everybody to be able to access something like that.
It's simple, man. It's capitalism. It's creating that
I understand capitalism. I'm saying
it's creating that bidding war. They want that bidding war to go up and up. They want the competition to happen between these platforms. Who could give me more money, the most money?
Or you could not make it exclusive and raise the fees that you charge each of those platforms individually that carry your stuff all together, right? Everybody that carries NFL programming, whether it's ESPN, CBS, NBC, all three of those have streaming services. You would think that they would factor that into the price of that, because now more of your people can see it, because everybody's not going to have YouTube TV. YouTube TV obviously is betting on people wanting the NFL Sunday ticket, so they'll get YouTube TV specifically. But the reality is if you're the NFL, you're the only NFL. I mean, the XFL has fans, but let's be honest, you're the only NFL. You can charge what you charge, and if you give them more value, they'll pay more money, right? So, let's say, how much did you say they got the rights to the Sunday ticket for? $2 billion.
$2 billion per year. $2 billion. Okay.
So it's worth $2 billion for one platform. You mean to tell me that CBS or Viacom, Comcast, and Disney wouldn't all pay $1 billion each to have the streaming rights to the Sunday ticket? That's $3 billion versus $2 billion.
I don't know. There's a lot of nuances that we're not privy to, but I see why they did it this way, just to create a bidding war, to get it to raise to jack the price up, and you said it's $2 billion per year.
Right.
So every year they have it, it's $2 billion. Now they can have it. They may be able to keep it just 3 years, and then they run out, and then there's another bidding war after that, and it's probably going to be raised even more, maybe $4 billion a year.
Well, I didn't catch the earlier part of the show, but did y'all talk about that with baseball with Apple Plus or Apple? What is it, Apple TV or whatever it is?
No, we didn't. But yeah, Apple TV is now going to be charging customers for rights of watching the game
for baseball. So
for baseball,
and when we were talking in the group earlier, it's like not a lot of people comparatively have Apple TV compared to some of these other things. So you're limiting the eyeballs that can have it. Obviously, NFL is different because they're the most accessible out of all the leagues, but still, the reason why they came out with the Red Zone channel was because I thought that they recognized the mistake that they made with just making the Sunday ticket exclusive to DirecTV. But I don't know. I understand trying to maximize the most money and get the best bidding, but to me, it's a missed opportunity because you can spread and factor that cost out and spread that revenue out to more than just one source and factor it into the cost. Like you license the streaming rights to the Sunday ticket out to all those other services as well.
Yeah, you know how these leagues are, man. They try to find ways to expand and, of course, still make that money.
All I'm saying is the Player Association is watching all this money go to the league. And they're waiting to see what kind of excuse they're going to give the players as to why they can't pay them, why they can't get a piece of the pie. And yep.
So let's go ahead and transition from the NFL to this past Monday night, in which Sadal is war. Now, that's much better than what T-Bone said earlier. But yeah, Sadal, did you go with your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all went to Monday Night Raw this past Monday at the Enterprise Center. Tell everybody your experience and your thoughts about what you saw.
Now, this is coming from someone that really doesn't follow it as much as I used to. My brother does more with with wrestling than I do. But it was okay. It was good. It wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't spectacular, but it was good. You know, it was what I expected to be. Coming from a Raw. I think this time they pretty much filmed it live. Last time we went, they taped two Raw episodes, but this happened to be one Raw episode, of course, because they're building up to WrestleMania, and you kind of see a lot of the storylines come together. You know, especially being that WrestleMania is 2 weeks out, and it was good to see, you know, some new matches emerge out of that show. You know, you have tag team championship on the line, the undisputed tag team championship with the Usos, and you got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and so that was pretty good to see. You've seen the women's championship match emerge out of that tag team match that they had, you know, with Bianca Belair and
Asuka.
What's her name?
Asuka,
yeah. I think that'll be pretty good. To see Asuka as a heel, you know, just outside looking in, not knowing the history or anything, to see her being a heel. And then of course the best promo of the night, of course, you had Cody Rhodes with against Roman Reigns, and
Tribal
Cody, the tribal chief, and it was fun. It's fun to kind of see the fans' reaction to the new catchphrases and stuff. You know, just being away from it and seeing how things have changed since I really was watching it before. So it was entertaining, that last segment that they had before going off the air. Built a little bit of tension, you know, so for the match. And so I found it entertaining. I don't know, T-Bone may have a more in-depth view of it than I did, but we had a good time.
And T-Bone, I know that you were surprised that Sadal told you that Cody Rhodes had a better fan reaction than Sami Zayn.
I mean, did you watch it on TV?
Yep.
Did it sound that way on TV to you?
I mean, it's kind of hard to really tell because I wasn't there in person. So
yeah, so it was so to be honest, it was close. It was close, but Cody did have the greatest reaction, and I'm like I said, I haven't been watching it, so I don't know who's popular or what.
That's why I asked
but
because you hadn't been watching.
Right, so I haven't been really watching it, so I just come to it with new, fresh ears, listening to it, and I just gave you my honest reaction. That Cody did have it, but it wasn't like it was like far and away better. It was just a bigger reaction, a bigger pop when he came out.
Which is probably
Kevin Owens actually had a good reaction too.
Well, I know. I mean, to me, the thing, you know, if anybody's been watching the show, and of course, why wouldn't he? But
why? Can I ask you this? Why did you ask that question?
Well, as we've been talking about here on the Platform Sports Talk Show over the past 9 months, the story with Sami Zayn has been probably the most compelling thing that's been on TV in the past 20 years or so. I mean, you know, it's been interesting. They've been taking their time with it. They've been doing stuff in pretty much each show, and it's not just Sami Zayn. It's Jey Uso has a specific story, and you know, for me, I don't hate Cody Rhodes, but I was interested in the story that they had been telling, and now they've inserted Cody Rhodes into it. And I always get this comparison when something like this happens. It's like if you were watching a James Bond movie and you're watching it from start to finish, and then right when James Bond is about to get the bad guy, if Superman just busted in the room and just took over everything and then just won, it's like, that's not the movie I came to see. You know what I mean? So So I mean, yeah, Sammy and Kevin have a story that's being told in a way, but you know, the Cody stuff. Again, I don't hate Cody. I'm going to watch WrestleMania. I was sitting there looking to see how much the tickets would be for WrestleMania, just in case I decided to take a quick getaway on April 1st. But you know, the Cody stuff just doesn't interest me as much.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. I haven't watched SmackDown as much over the last couple of weeks. 'Cause I've been, pretty busy. Thanks to
What you been busy with, Smoooth?
last week, especially last week. You know what I'm talking about, Sadal. But yeah, man, just staying busy with Smoooth Production and all that. But
Anything
I am
on a streaming service of any kind, maybe a Mixcloud of some sort, or
misscloud.com/Smoooth Productions, Smoooth with 3 O's. Y'all already know. Check it out. You'll see what's happening. You know how it is. I mean, they see on the screen right now, smoothproductions.com. So that says it all right there. So just go ahead and follow that website right there. But yeah, I look forward to WrestleMania. A lot of great matches. It's unfortunate because word is that Bray Wyatt may be out for a while, so that will so that match between him and Bobby Lashley probably won't go down at WrestleMania, maybe down the line. But cool, I mean, overall, you said who?
I said Bray's a cool guy. You know, I don't know what else going on. Hope everything goes well for him.
Yeah. But stay tuned, man, for all those wrestling fans and everything. Stay tuned for WrestleMania. You gave me an idea. Someone brought this up to me a while back. I don't know if it was you, Sadal, or you, T-Bone. But like if I do decide to have a little WrestleMania gathering, I wonder if I should stream it live with us watching the show and providing commentary while we watch WrestleMania.
Yes, that's what I was saying. A lot of YouTubers do this a lot. They do little watch alongs. Where you're not getting the copyright strike because you're not showing the thing constantly. You're just showing yourself just watching it. As it's going along.
Somebody got to be wearing headphones or something to be able to get the sound for themselves, because that sound will get you too.
Yeah. So y'all wear headphones and everything, and they just film our reactions.
Better see about that. I gotta see if the wifey approves before I do anything else. Yeah, you know how it is, T-Bone. So that was in regards to football and wrestling. So I'll go ahead, Sadal, let you get your rest up, man, and hopefully that you feel better. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the Man Cave.
All right, power up on them.
There you go. That was Sadal. He's out the building. And now just T-Bone and I, we don't have too much to talk about left in regards outside of this, of course, some NBA basketball. So right now on your screen, I'm going to go ahead and get the standings up. And there we go. So
like in regards earlier, somebody wasn't standing up so well, but I guess we'll get to that.
Right. So in regards to the East, the 10th spot, you have Stanton and his Bulls, number 9. The Raptors, number 8. The Hawks, number 7. The Miami Heat. That is part of the play-in tournament. Those 4 teams will have to face each other. And you got to win. If the 7th seed, I think it's the 7th seed versus the 8th seed and the 9th seed versus 10th seed. And if the 7th seed wins, they advance on to the playoffs. And then the 8th seed will face the winner of the 9th and 10th seed. And that will determine the final spot for the playoffs. In the 6th spot, you have the Nets, 5th, the Knicks, 4th, the Cavaliers, 3rd, the 76ers, 2nd, the Celtics, and then number 1, the Milwaukee Bucks. In the West, you have the Utah Jazz at the 10th spot, 9, the Timberwolves, 8, the Mavericks, 7, the Thunder, 6, Golden State Warriors, 5, the Clippers, 4, the Suns, 3, the Kings, 2, the Grizzlies, 1, the Nuggets. And I believe you're talking about last night, Paul George. You talking about him, T-Bone? When he hurt his knee last night? Yeah. So he sprained his knee last night. He's out for 2 weeks. Hopefully, he'll come back and he'll do his thing. My team, the Lakers, are on the outskirts looking in right now. But just one game from being in sixth place, truthfully, or 1.5 games of being in sixth place. So LeBron isn't back yet. Hopefully, he'll be back very soon. The only thing that I'm mad about in regards to the Lakers is they had a victory about a week ago against the Thunder.
How long
And then
ago?
the next night, a week ago.
About a week ago.
Right. But then the very next game, they had a back-to-back against the Houston Rockets. And mind you, you need to win every game as possible. The Lakers organization decided to let Anthony Davis rest because they didn't want him to be part of a back-to-back. And guess who won that game, T-Bone?
Well, I think that Houston did not have a problem.
Exactly. And ever since then, the Lakers kind of been on a slide. Now, they won their last game against the Magic, and they play tonight. I believe right now they're about to play the Suns.
Of course they
did. Sorry about that, T-Bone. Just the Magic are. Yeah, never mind. You see on the screen. They're 30 and 43. They ain't 13. But yeah, this isn't the time to say, hey, it's a back-to-back. You can't play. No, you need everyone, especially with LeBron not playing right now. You need everyone to be out there winning games because it's down to the last 15 games of the season. You need to go ahead and have everyone playing. Doesn't matter if it's back-to-back games. Everyone needs to play because you need to get into the play-in or into the playoffs, bottom line. So that's the NBA. Tonight, John Morant made his comeback for the first time since he got suspended about a month ago. And also Karl Anthony Towns from the Timberwolves. He made his first game appearance back since he'd been hurt since November. And once again, you see your screen, the Timberwolves are right in the thick of things. So if he does his thing and stays healthy, along with Anthony Edwards and that squad, they can make some noise. We shall see. And Miss Williams says Knicks are getting ready to lose to the Cavs right now. I'm sorry, to the Heat right now. So that's crucial because you see where the Knicks are right now. They are 3 games behind the Cavaliers, and they are 3 games up over the Heat. And update, the Knicks just lost to the Heat. So they are now 42 and 32, and the Heat are 40 and 34. So, it's getting right there to the thick of things, and it's all about seeding. You want to get that home field advantage, if possible, in the NBA playoffs. So, last but definitely not least, of course, it's all about March Madness, and man, the madness.
Madness is running wild. Yeah.
Yes, it is. The madness is definitely going crazy right now. Let's start off first with the women. As you see, they have the Greenville 1, Greenville 2, then you have the Seattle 3 and Seattle 4 region. Let's start off with the Greenville region. As you see right now on your screen, let me go ahead and remove my logo so y'all can see everything. There we go. So, number 1 seed, South Carolina, Dawn Staley's group, they have advanced to the Sweet 16. UCLA, which was the number 4 seed, they have advanced from their bracket. Notre Dame, shouts out to Niele Ivy. I brought her up last week. She represents St. Louis as well. They were a number 3 seed. They are in the Sweet 16, and they will face off against Maryland. They are the number 2 seed. So you have the number 1 seed versus the number 4 seed. Then you have the number 4 seed in UCLA, number 1 seed South Carolina. Then you have the number 3 seed Notre Dame versus the number 2 seed in Maryland in the Greenville 1 region. And for the Seattle 4 region, there was an upset. The number 1 seed Stanford lost against the 8 seed Ole Miss. So Ole Miss is in the Sweet 16. And the 5th seed Louisville, defeated number 4 seed Texas. So Louisville is now in the Sweet 16. They'll face off against Ole Miss. Then you have Colorado. They are a number 6 seed. They defeated number 3 seed Duke. And then you have the number 10th seed Georgia. And they lost to number 2 seed Iowa. So in the Seattle 4 region, you have Ole Miss, Louisville, Colorado, and Iowa in that region as well. Up next, you have the Greenville 2 region. So you have the upset. Number 1 seed Indiana lost to the number 9 seed Miami Hurricanes. And then you have Villanova. They were the number 4 seed. They defeated the number 12 seed FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast. And I believe that is the school that our former very own ladies night panelist, Michaela McGee, that's a team that she played on back in college. T-Bone, Florida Gulf Coast University. Then you have LSU, the number 3 seed. They advanced on, and now they're facing off against Utah. They are the number 2 seed. So you have Miami versus Villanova, LSU versus Utah. And then the Seattle 3 region, number 1 seed Virginia Tech, they still in it. They will be facing off against number 4 seed Tennessee, in which they defeated number 13 seed St. Louis University women's basketball team, then advanced on to beat Toledo. So you have Virginia Tech versus Tennessee. Then you have Ohio State, which is the number 3 seed, will face off against Geno Auriemma and UConn Huskies, which they are the number 2 seed. So once again, you have Virginia Tech, Tennessee, Ohio State, and UConn in the Seattle 3 region. So the ladies are definitely keeping it very entertaining, holding things down as they are on the road to Dallas. Now, got a comment here. Yes, Miss Williams, brackets busting all over the place. Definitely true.
I got 2 picks alive for my Final Four. How about you? From the women,
for the women, I have one. Let me see. Let me think. One. I have one because I had all 4. I had all 4 seeds. For all 4 number 1 seeds. So I have 2 remaining.
So Virginia
Tech,
South Carolina, and Tennessee going to the final, or South Carolina and Tennessee going to the finals is what I picked. So I still got a chance.
Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I had UConn going. So UConn is still up there. Yeah, I had UConn going. Sorry about that. All right, so now the men. And when I say another crazy bracket busting time, that was definitely had in the men. It was crazy. And unfortunately, it did hit home if you love Mizzou like I do. It hit home to us too. But let's start off in the South region, where the number 1 seed Alabama Crimson Tide, the overall number 1 seed, they have advanced all the way to the Sweet 16. They will face off against number 5 seed San Diego State. Now, what's so amazing about this region here is the number 13 seed Furman. As you see, they faced off against number 4 Virginia and got the upset. The next bracket down, you have Creighton, number 6 seed Creighton. They will face off against number 15 seed Princeton, in which Princeton had one of the biggest starting upsets when they beat Arizona, number 2 seed. And then Mizzou, they defeated Utah State. So, I'm thinking to myself, oh man, we got an easier path, T-Bone. We can get to the Sweet 16. We got this. We can beat Princeton. Didn't happen. Princeton outplayed Mizzou. And yes, it was sad to see Mizzou not, go further. but I do have to say, shouts out to the Mizzou team for an incredible season because no one thought that Mizzou was gonna make it to the big dance and win a game as well. So Dennis Gates and Mizzou, shouts out to y'all. I know that next year y'all y'all should definitely bounce back and learn from your mistakes and be a bigger and better team. So I look forward to it. So in the South region, you have Alabama, San Diego State, Creighton versus Princeton. So Alabama versus San Diego State, Creighton versus Princeton. In the East, and you know, I just realized I think I have a little bit cut off here on the bottom. So I gotta make sure I pull up the actual thing. Let me get it real quick so I can make sure I tell y'all exactly who is on the bottom as well. There we go. Let me pull this. Okay. Where is the actual one? So you have in the East once again, Florida Atlantic, number 9 seed. So what's crazy about this bracket? The number 1 seed, Purdue, lost their first round game against number 16 seed, Fairleigh Dickinson. They were the number 1 seed and they lost. This is the second time in the last 5 seasons, or in the last 5 years, the number 1 seed has lost. Right. But I'm just talking about this is the second time in the last 4 or 5 years that a number 1 seed has lost. And it just happened the second time ever in college basketball. So it's just amazing how these number 1 seeds have lost against a 16 seed in the first game.
Changing landscape recruiting.
Man, and also that's what's so big about NIL and the transfer portal too, is that it's giving these other teams more opportunities now to possibly get certain guys to play on these teams like Fairleigh Dickinson, and you can have a possible upset. Or Purdue may not be as strong as they could have because now these guys are leaving or going to different schools and stuff like that. So a lot of number 1 seeds nowadays, especially as you see these last couple of years, a lot of more upsets can happen over the next couple of years.
And not just the number 1 seeds, but also, Princeton was the number 2, or Arizona was the number 2 seed, right? So the difference between 1 and 16 and 2 and 15 is probably not as great as it used to be when you had established teams that were, dominant, had lineages. These are all basically brand new teams for the most part every year.
Right. And let me see here. Where is I want to pull up my.
Well, while you're doing that, I just want to point out.
Here we go.
I got my 10 miles in today, folks. I got my 10 miles in. Thank y'all for holding me accountable, even though y'all didn't know what the goal was.
Hallelujah.
My accountability buddies. You know what I mean? Like, y'all got me.
Right. All right. So going on further, we have Tennessee. So number 9, Florida Atlantic. Atlantic. We'll be playing number 4 Tennessee. And then further down, we have Kentucky losing to Kansas State. So number 3 seed Kansas State will face off against number 7 seed Michigan State, in which they defeated my mom's team, Marquette, who I had going to the Final Four. So I had Marquette going to the Final Four as I was showing my mom some love. So they didn't make it. As you see, Michigan State versus Kansas State. So you have Florida Atlantic versus Tennessee, Kansas State versus Michigan State. In the West region, Arkansas, number 8 seed, they beat number 1 seed Kansas. And one of the biggest reasons why KU lost is because Bill Self, he was out due to, I think he had a heart attack about a week ago. Sorry, I'm trying to have a joke about that T-Bone, but it is. But he was out. He couldn't coach. And KU lost against Arkansas. So now Arkansas will be facing off against UConn. Then you have Gonzaga, number 3 seed versus number 2 seed UCLA. So once again, Arkansas versus UConn, Gonzaga versus UCLA. Then up top, the Midwest region, they'll be playing in Kansas City. Road trip? No. But anyway, you had number 1 seed Houston versus number 5 seed Miami. So the men and women for Miami hold things down. Same thing with the men and the women for UConn hold things down too. Then you have Xavier versus Texas. Xavier number 3 seed, Texas number 2 seed. So a lot of great action is going down starting tomorrow night. You have tomorrow, Thursday, Saturday. I'm sorry, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. More March Madness, more great entertainment, great basketball, and we're all looking forward to it. I know I am. T-Bone. I know you're gonna be on your bike watching them game like crazy starting tomorrow night, right?
Got the TV right over there. You can't see it. It's off screen.
There it is. But that is the Platform Sports Talk Show. T-Bone, for our listeners watching for the first time, listening for the first time, people just tuned in. Let everybody know real quick where they can find us at.
Well, y'all can find us where y'all looking at right now. Hopefully, a lot of y'all are looking here on YouTube. And if you are, make sure that before you leave, go ahead and like and subscribe. And when you do, go ahead and hit that
bell.
That's right. So that way, when we go live, you will be notified. You can catch us out on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot out there in the streets. Not only do they have us on the radio, but they got us on the Twitch channel as well, twitch.tv/Hot365 Radio. You'll be able to catch us there. And not just the Platform Sports Talk Show, but coming up next week, we got The Man Cave. That's right. Every last Wednesday of the month, you'll be able to catch out all the fellas as we give lots of opinions. And if y'all have checked the past few months and checked our group chat, you'll see that there's lots of opinions out there.
So is.
Catch The Man Cave. See the feud of the week. Feud of the week on The Man Cave. We also got the 2 weeks from now, we got a ladies' night every first Wednesday of the month. You'll be able to catch the ladies. You saw 2 of them earlier, and you'll be able to catch the rest of the panel on Wednesday, ladies' night, the first Wednesday of the month. And you know what? While you're out there looking at us, where are you looking at us? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Roku, Hot 365 Radio. Make sure you send us a comment. Let us know who you want to hear on the show. We've seen a lot of good guests. Want to know who? Go to our archives and find out. You'll be able to see like Coach Anthony Beck of the XFL. You'll be able to catch Tom Ackerman. You'll be able to catch lots of people out there. You'll be able to see
a whole lot.
I got tongue-tied thinking of all of them. Joe Torre, Guy Torre, all the Torre fellas out there. You know, so check us out. We're here for you every Wednesday. Come on, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe on all your social media feeds.
And with that being said, that is our show. Shouts out to Bunny, Joe, Sadal, T-Bone, and this is yours truly, Smooth. Y'all have a great rest of your evening and week. It is a wrap. We out.